Hey, good morning, global greatest family of all time, listeners and viewers. This is Sal Santori here, and we are broadcasting live from the break time, I guess you'd say, at the Hershey Legion, post 836, right here, obviously in Hershey, Pennsylvania, on East Derry Road. And today, what they have going on is the river float, and the folks are out on the river now in their kayaks and inner tubes. And the whole purpose of today is to raise funds for the Veterans Outreach of Pennsylvania. And they're taking donations here at the club and online and by phone to help support Veterans Outreach of Pennsylvania. So I think it's a great cause. And it just so happens that this post is actually the headquarters for the Kazarn Community and Veterans Outreach, Dauphin County. We have several locations which we are accessible at, one in Dauphin County, the others in Lebanon County at the Anvil VFW on Main Street. And today, in addition to the festivities that are going on, they had a great breakfast this morning. Um, I come in, I was a little late. I volunteered to help cook and prepare for today's breakfast. And by the time I got here, they pretty much had everything ready. So I kind of like just pretended I was overseeing everything and said, "Gee, it all looks great. Let's serve it." So it was all set up buffet style, and what a great breakfast it was. We had probably 20 people here coming in for the breakfast before the float, and then of course at 11 o'clock is when everybody headed out, and it was the launch time, and um, kayaks were sent down the river, and it's a great time, a great day. Also, we have today is Ricky Brown, who is a DJ. He's got some fantastic equipment and experience. He's also a veteran, obviously. And in the background to my right shoulder rear, you can see his setup. And we'll be visiting with Ricky today after 3. He'll be back and he'll be doing DJing as well as karaoke and playing a lot of great music. He was here this morning from 9 to 11 and spun some really great tunes, really patriotic music. Really gets you in the spirit, in the mood, brings it all home as to what veterans are all about. And definitely we appreciate your appreciation. So whenever anyone says, thank you for your service, the first thing I'll tell them is thank you for your appreciation. It really matters. So Ricky has agreed to do his uh, DJ and karaoke activities today here for free. He's donating his time, as am I. He'll be here a lot longer. And additionally, he is donating half of all the tips received today to the Veterans Outreach of Pennsylvania. And the Veterans Outreach, I'll read their mission. It's a great thing that they do. And their mission is they stand up to combat homelessness among veterans by providing support and services needed to promote an empowered life filled with strength and purpose. It's great. You can support them. Their generous donation helps provide vital support and services to our veterans, ensuring they receive the care and respect they so highly deserve. They have on their brochure, they have in the back a code that you can scan and make a donation right from your cell phone if you wish. They're really a great organization. They have some figures here of homeless veterans in the U.S. is estimated at 35,574, and in Pennsylvania, 826, and in the capital region, 72. So their vision is restoring trust and creating opportunity one veteran at a time. They're instrumental in having Veterans Grove, which is a community of tiny homes, a community village of 15 tiny homes and a community center. It's situated on a beautiful landscape 5-acre parcel along the Susquehanna River in South Harrisburg. That's amazing. 15 tiny homes will offer shelter and living to 15 veterans. That's great. That is great. It's a humongous and incredibly disturbing fact that we have under the Biden administration taken so much effort and put so much into taking care of illegal aliens. And I'll tell you what, if you're here illegally, then yes, you're an illegal alien. You're not an immigrant. You're not in transit. You are an illegal, yeah, illegal alien, and you should not be here, let alone be taken care of above the veteran population. How dare any administration put veterans lower on the need horizon than any other group, especially not an illegal alien group. So we want to definitely thank President Trump for all the efforts he's doing in correcting everything that we had to tolerate for 4 years under the Biden administration. And that's a subject for a whole new show, which we're not going to get into today. I'm just wanting to let folks know what's going on here at Post 836 or 386. I'm sorry, um, here in Hershey on East Derry Road. Today, again, as I said, we're here to invite folks in, let you all know what's going on with the River Float, and it's their second annual in support of uh, Veterans Outreach of Pennsylvania. So, as I mentioned earlier, all proceeds, all donations will be going to the Veterans Outreach of Pennsylvania. Ricky Brown, the DJ, you may have heard of him. He's got a lot of local prominence and local reach. Thank you, brother. And he's here. He's offered to donate his time, so he's here for free, and he is accepting tips. And his promise is half of all the tips received are being donated to the Veterans Outreach of Pennsylvania. So come on out, folks. And if you're unable to come out, find a way to reach us here at the Post in Hershey. Maybe call in a donation, kind of similar to what the Jerry Lewis telethons used to be like. Folks calling in with donations. But you're supporting the Veterans Outreach of Pennsylvania, which, as I just mentioned, is a very strong advocate and resource to rid the homeless veteran population here in Pennsylvania. And I can't say enough about the good work that they're doing. And I'm really glad to be able to be a part of what's going on today. And like Ricky, I'm here. I donated my time. This is volunteer. It's a great cause. And we'll be back again today after 3 uh, to visit with the folks coming back from the river float. We'll talk to some of the folks that were on it in their kayaks and tubes and just find out just how much fun they had and what it feels like to be part of this fundraising effort here today. And Ricky Brown will be here DJing. He's going to be spinning tunes as well as doing karaoke. And we'll get to talk with him a little bit and find out what he's all about and how long he's been strongly supporting veterans' causes. So thank you for tuning in for this brief visit. I really appreciate our greatest global family of all time viewers and listeners. I can't thank you enough. Without you, we would have no show. So thank you for your support. Thank you to all of our sponsors and community partners. The Post here in Hershey is one, and they support our efforts. They support the Kazarn Community and Veterans Outreach. And as I mentioned, here at the Post is our Dauphin County uh, headquarters for the Kazarn Community and Veterans Outreach. And our big mission is through Project Intervene. And what this is all about is veteran suicide prevention. And we do that through education, teaching people what to look for, how to understand what you're seeing. And then the next step, obviously, is what do we do about it? So we definitely want to encourage folks to follow us. You can follow that on Facebook. Just Google Sal Santori, and the information on what we're doing will come up. And we're beginning our preparations for our fall and winter indoor seminar series. Our first one will be in October at the Whitaker Center in Harrisburg, downtown Harrisburg. Will be our very first indoor seminar for 2025, 2026. Wow, good Lord. You know, I hate saying that because what it is not verbally saying, but is like banging loudly in my head is, "Hey, dude, you're getting older." It's not 1999 anymore. Hasn't been for quite a while. Um, so yeah, that's killing me. But will I ever admit it? Nah, forget about it. But yeah, so follow us on Facebook, and we'll be putting out our schedule. We also have our website. Uh, the www dot is a little too long for me to recall off the top of my head, but it is listed on Facebook. So follow us, and we'll be starting our fall winter schedule of indoor seminars with Project Intervene, and we teach what to how to interpret what you're seeing in our veterans to be able to realize it's not just a bad day, it's not a bad week, and it's not even just a bad month. Well, gee, you're just really having a bad month going on there. No, that's not it. There's something way deeper going on. And the sooner you're able to recognize that, be aware of it, and understand what you're seeing, the much better chances we have of doing what's called a safe intervention. And what that is designed to do is interrupt the process. So we have our veteran much earlier in that process able to begin to rediscover or acquire a new purpose for life. That's what it's all about. We lose our sense of purpose, and it's all downhill from there. Um, Trust me on that. Um, I've experienced it. Yeah. So I really know what I'm talking about. And believe me, it's effective. The things that we teach are effective, they work. I spent a lot of time doing research to understand exactly what we needed to be able to bring across to the public. I spent many years in radio interviewing folks to talk about the veteran suicide rate. It's been a steady 22 forever per day. And the furthest I got was the agreement that it's a terrible thing. It's a scourge. Well, yes, it is. What do we do about it? And that was the question we couldn't get an answer to. It was kind of like everybody throwing their arms up and going, gee, what can we do about it? Well, a light bulb went on, and the spirit that moves me, the spirit from God, said to me, why don't you figure it out? So it's kind of like, well, why not? Okay. So I did research for months uh, to find information, to find publications, and also to be able to vet everything I was reading, everything I was learning about. So it had the support of being sourced. And I came to the conclusions that exactly like I said, we found like five common core elements that seem to be present. Those five, obviously not limited to the five, but those were the ones that we found the most prevalent in most situations. So we identified those, and then we came to understand how the process works. It's not like a single instant decision. There are factors going into it, things that lead up to it. So that's why I say it is indeed a process. And when we can when we can realize the steps in that process, then obviously we can take the next step, which is The other thing that I studied and researched and discovered, the best remedy is called a safe intervention. I say safe because we do it in a manner that does not involve mandated reporting personnel. That would take away the first element of safety because we want, as veterans, we want to. I don't know that we want so much as what we don't want is we don't want to have additional involvement. We don't want legal ramifications. We don't want people coming in from the outside who have no idea really, uh, from a veteran's perspective, from a veteran's standpoint, what's going on and make their judgments and decisions based on society uh, ideology. So we want to make sure we're not involving that. We also want to make sure we're not involving the legal process. Uh, we're looking to when we're finally able to share what's going on, we're looking to do so in an environment that does not involve legal ramifications and other folks coming in and saying, well, okay, even after we're a little bit more on the right track, now we have whatever years of legal uh, involvement, to just add to the complications. And that's not what we're looking for. It's not what we want. And we're really not interested in becoming part of the revenue generation of the judicial system. So those are the two mechanics of the first part of a safe intervention. The other part is we don't want you, as the other person, the concerned person, to want to take this on yourself. You're not qualified, and I say that with love because what could very easily happen is you could pull the trigger, you could pull the pin without even realizing it. So we ask that you do not take it upon yourself to do the actual intervention with all great intent and love in your heart. The unintended consequence could be that you make it worse. So, what we teach folks to do is to reach out to other folks, primary care providers, uh, emotional support folks, uh, spiritual advisors, and service officers. You can find them at your local VFW or Legion. You can reach out to your VA, and you can definitely reach out to us. Of course, here I am on the show and also part of the Kazern Community and Veterans Outreach. So you can always reach me at info at wmrcstudios.com, or you can reach me at sal at the initials kzcvo.org. And if those are too far in the waiting and you need immediate help, call me, please, 717 455 7086. I will never not answer my phone. So if you are in a situation that needs immediate attention, feel free to call me. Again, that's 717 455 7086. You can also call the National New Crisis Number, and that is a very uh, short number, very easy to use, 988. Dial 988 from any phone anywhere, and you will be connected to the National Crisis Center. And your option that you want to press is one. You will find a live person on the other end. Um, I've done this, I've used this uh, to help other folks on multiple occasions. And each and every time I was very well satisfied, very impressed with the response I got. Uh, and indeed, I want to tell you, we got a live person on the other end. We didn't get a phone bank of, for this request, press this number, and on and on and on, into infinity. And also, I want to remind you Pardon me, I'm like really parched. Um, I want to remind you that one of our earlier shows, um, I called the 988 number live on the air, on podcast. And when someone answered, the person answered on the other end, I identified myself and the fact that we were broadcasting live on air. And were they still willing to go ahead and answer a few questions? And it was absolutely beautiful. You couldn't have asked for better. The lady on the other end said absolutely, and I assured her it was not an emergency call. It was a call for information and actually a test of their system. And she was more than happy to cooperate and provide information. And this person was so very well able to do so. Um, I was greatly impressed with her depth, her caring, her knowledge, um, and her patience, which is huge in this type of situation. Someone who's got a lot of patience is just like beautiful because their heart is in the right place. They their heart is in the right place, and that will tell you everything you need to know, right? So I want to remind everyone once again, if you are seeing um, lack of motivation, excuse me, uh, lack of enthusiasm, lack of hope, and that begins to grow into leave me alone. I don't want to be bothered right now. And it goes from there to a more serious isolation for long periods during a day. It's going to go from there to isolation pretty much all the time. And from there, it's going to go to I'm going to defend my area. Don't enter. Um, you're you're in a real serious spot right there, um, because we're giving up hope, um, and rather than just absorbing the depression, we're starting to go to the other side, uh, and become threatening. Um, and then the final situation is we're not going to be threatening to you. It's like we're going to take ourselves out of the picture. Enough. We're done. And that ultimately becomes a permanent solution to what is not seen at the time as a temporary situation, but with intervention and people who care and continued effort, it's a temporary situation. And the goal is to restore hope, to restore sense of purpose, and begin to get re-involved, begin to understand what's going on within ourselves, forgive ourselves. Um, we were following orders, okay? We were following orders, and that's that. Let's leave it at that. We were following orders. Um, so we need to forgive ourselves. And then we need to be able to continue to become more and more healthy through our new circle of support, our new emotional and spiritual supporters, um, advocation, education, and experience. Let's find out what we want to do. Uh, what can we use our skills for? What can we use our desire for? Because if we have a passion for something, we're going to do it that much better and be far more successful with it. So, in the ultimate picture, what we want for our veterans and what I've seen happen is we realize where we were, how far we've come, where we want to go, and then we are reaching out to others and we're helping others who are where we've been, and we're able to look at ourselves and look at our situation and say, wow, that was me 2 years ago. That was me 3 years ago. And now here I am. I'm able to love on this other veteran and his or her family, and we're able to change that life. We're able to prevent an end situation, and we are able to bring a new life to fruition. And it's the most beautiful thing in the world. Um, and I want to tell you how beautiful this is, okay? And this is by no means, I think my family knows me well enough to know now. Um, I'm not full of pride. I'm not pompous, and I don't brag about anything because it's not me, it's God, and I'm simply a vessel. I'm just a spoke in the wheel, and we all are, but together we make the wheel go round, right? We make it happen. Um, but what I want to share with you is I've had service officers from the state of Washington call me, and from Oregon call me to tell me, Sal, because of your show, uh, this veteran came into our club and asked to see a service officer, and they're still with us. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Um, we were we had a presence in the Lebanon Farmers Market for a while, and I was really glad we were there. And I discovered our whole purpose for being there was simply to be there and be present for folks in need. Of course, we didn't know who that would be, and even on the show, I never know who needs to hear whatever God is saying through me. Um, I just take it by faith and do what I'm told. I follow my orders. Um, but I've had a few people come in to the farmers market while we were there, and I remember one in particular come up and asked me, he said, "Are you Sal Santori?" I said, "Yes, I am." And he said to me, he said, "I was told to come and find you to talk with you." Well, as it turned out, this fellow was 6 weeks back from deployment, and in his mind, his only next step was suicide. Somehow, someone was able to intervene enough to tell him to come find me. Not that I'm special, I'm just the person that God is using for his outreach. Um, so to have this guy come that way and find me, we spent some time together. In fact, we visited for the next couple days, um, and not daily after that, but in touch enough for him to know he wasn't alone. He was no longer. Um, he had more options. He had more purpose, and I'm not going to go beyond that because I don't want to reveal who this person is. But he's doing well, and I'm so happy for him, and really feeling blessed that I had that moment. So even though we are no longer at the farmers market, we do have our headquarters for Dauphin County here at the Lebanon Legion, Post 386, and also in Anvil for Lebanon County at the Lebanon VFW. So thank you all for tuning in, for watching, and I can't wait to visit with you again. We'll be doing another show this afternoon, right around 3 o'clock. Watch for Facebook postings because I'll post the exact time in a little bit. But thank you for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. A lot of times this helps me as well because what do I do? Where do I go with it, right? Um, so thank you for being my outlet. And I love you all. Thank you. And as always, each and every time, I invite you to please find someone to help.